Welcome back to the Everyday Money Podcast. Today's topic is a bit unusual, but very interesting. Why do poor people buy lottery tickets while rich people buy stocks? And we'll explore it through a stickman story.
Yep, a stickman named Tim. Don't underestimate him. His little life says a lot about how real people think about money.
Right, so let's jump right in. Imagine stickman Tim. He wakes up, goes to work, comes home tired, pays bills, goes to sleep, and repeats. Just like many people struggling financially.
Exactly. And the first important thing here is this. When people feel stuck, they look for hope, even if the hope is statistically tiny. So one day, Tim sees a giant lottery poster saying, "Win $20 million.
And his eyes light up because for him, that poster feels like escape. A shortcut out of financial pressure, debt, and the feeling that life will never change.
So he buys a ticket, $2. But what he actually buys is hope. A moment where his life feels possible again. He imagines paying off debt, helping his family, finally relaxing.
And honestly, that moment of hope feels good. Sometimes better than the disappointment that comes after.
Yeah. And of course, Tim doesn't win. He scratches the ticket and sees the big lose. But here's the thing, he still buys the next ticket. Not because he's bad with money, but because that tiny dream feels better than his reality.
Now here's where our second stickman enters the picture. Stickman Richard.
Oh yeah, Richard is chill. He's sitting at a desk, drinking good coffee, buying stocks, reading an investing book.
His whole vibe is the opposite of Tim's. He's not praying for a miracle. He's building something slowly.
And here's the key difference. Tim wants instant escape. Richard wants long-term growth. One needs hope today. The other is planning for tomorrow.
Right? And this is where the common question comes in. Are poor people irresponsible for buying lottery tickets? Is it stupidity?
Not at all. It's psychology. It's what happens when someone feels like they have no ladder upward. If you don't see a way to climb, you gamble. If you do see a way to climb, you build.
Beautifully said. Now let's go back to the story. One day at work, Tim sits down completely stressed because he just got hit with a $500 emergency bill. His car broke down.
I mean, classic. When you're broke, everything feels like the end of the world. So Tim decides, okay, I'll try my luck again. He buys another lottery ticket. Less excitement this time, more desperation.
Meanwhile, Richard gets a surprise bill too, maybe $200 or something. But he's calm. He pays it. Why? Because he has savings, investments, a bit of financial cushion.
And that right there is the difference. Rich people don't buy stocks because they're geniuses. They buy stocks because they have the emotional space to think long-term.
But Tim's story takes a turn when another co-worker enters, Sarah.
Oh yes, Sarah. She's the unexpected hero here. She tells Tim, "Hey, I'm investing $5 a week."
Tim laughs. $5? That sounds ridiculous, Tim. What can $5 do?
And Sarah shows him her phone. And Tim sees that her little contributions are actually growing over time. Slowly, but they're growing.
That's the first moment Tim realizes he doesn't need to be rich to invest.
Exactly. And he goes home, opens an investment app, and sees something shocking. Start with $1. That moment hits him hard. He always thought investing was for rich people.
So he buys $1 worth of stock. Just $1. And that tiny action plants a tiny seed.
And here's the interesting psychological shift. Tim feels hope again. But this time, the hope isn't based on luck. It's based on control. He's actually doing something that moves his life forward.
Over the next few weeks, Tim stops buying lottery tickets. He starts buying small amounts of stock instead. $1 here, $3 there.
And his mindset changes. He's not thinking, I need one big miracle. He's thinking, I can grow something slowly.
His stress decreases. He starts sleeping better. He learns simple things about money. Compound interest, saving, consistency.
And the result is subtle but powerful. His life stops feeling like a trap.
Months pass. Tim's investment grows a little, not a lot, but enough to show progress. Enough to feel like he's building a future instead of hoping for a miracle.
And this leads to the main lesson of today's episode. People don't buy lottery tickets because they're stupid. They buy them because they don't see another path. People who buy stocks don't always do it because they're smart. They just have room in their life to think tomorrow.
What Tim discovers is that hope built slowly is more stable than hope bought instantly.
And honestly, that's a message many of us need. Because you don't have to start big. You just have to start.
So the final question, why do poor people buy lottery tickets and rich people buy stocks?
Because one group feels stuck. The other feels empowered. One needs escape. The other builds growth. Fix the mindset and habits, and the financial outcome begins to change.
Exactly. And that's the real story behind our little stickman Tim. From wishing to building. From gambling to growing.
So if you're listening right now, maybe your first step isn't buying a stock. Maybe it's simply realizing you have options.
And even if you start with just $1, like Tim, that's enough to change your direction.
All right, that wraps up today's episode. Hope you enjoyed the Stickman story with a surprising amount of truth inside it.
This is the Everyday Money Podcast, signing off. See you next time.